our church celebrates the feast day of Saint Melania. The following are some thoughts on her life and works. Saint Melania was born to a highly successful tycoon named Publicola, whose wife Albina chose to name her Melania after her mother, a name which they were certain would be reckoned with, but not in the manner they anticipated. In the custom of the day, Melania was promised in marriage at the age of 14 to the son of the prefect of Rome, who at that age 17 already held a position of trust with the state. It was taken that Melania balked at that proposal, not because she had any objections to the young man, but because she had taken Jesus Christ so much to her heart, she wished to serve him only, even if it meant losing her legacy. Melania was anything but a stubborn child, and indifferent to her parents, who showed great distress to her startling declaration of faith, she agreed to the marriage, hopeful that in some way she could partially fulfill her fondest hope as a wife and mother, although there was little prospect of that. After the first year of her marriage, she bore a child who lived only for a few days. When her second child, a son, was stillborn, she found solace in the thought that it was the will of God, but her husband and parents, lacking her faith, were on the edge of despair. When her father died thereafter, she succeeded in convincing her husband and mother that they should join her in serving the Lord, leaving behind them the anguish for which their wealth had no antidote, and that any hope for the future lay in the service of Jesus Christ. She induced them to leave Rome and its pomp for the tranquility to be found at the shrines of Christianity. Not until she was about to leave Rome did Melania realize the extent of the family wealth, which included properties and immense estates not only in Italy but in Spain, Britain, and islands of the Mediterranean. Much to the dismay of relatives, whose appeal to the Emperor Honorius was dismissed, the family holdings in Italy were sold under the provision that the proceeds were to go to various charities. After travelling to Carthage, where she disposed of a small holding, Melania, at the age of 34, settled in Jerusalem to be near the tomb of Christ. Her mother and husband died within a few days of each other, and she erected at the site of their tombs a lovely chapel. Left to her own devices, Melania found a spiritual father in Abbot Gerontios, who counselled her in the disposition of her great wealth, and through whom she found the boundless wealth of the Saviour's love. She built a nunnery at the base of the Mount of Olives, not far removed from the Garden of Gethsemane, and then built or refurbished many churches in the Holy Land. Orphanages were built wherever needed, and even with an additional nunnery, she had yet to strip herself of all her wealth. At the suggestion of the abbot, she went to Constantinople under the Byzantine Empire to visit an aging uncle whom she might enlist in charitable projects there. She had on difficulty in locating her uncle Volusian, but she encountered greater difficulty in converting the recalcitrant old man who had clung to paganism all of his days. When the uncle was made at last to see the truth, he was converted to Christianity, and he lived out his remaining days in the peaceful company of his niece, who busied herself with the distribution of the remainder of her wealth. After the death of her uncle, and feeling her own health to be failing, Melania returned to the Holy Land. Having lived simply with a meagre wardrobe, she died at the age of 56 in 439, from which date she had been venerated by the Orthodox Church. Some 1,500 years later, on the 31st of December 1908, she was officially recognized by the Roman Church as well.